Boo crew. Still don't see Vicki yet. I was here. I had to find the plug so we didn't lose our connection. So hello, friends. I'm here. I was like doing stuff, and then I went, oh my gosh, Vicki, it's 8:08. 8:08. So I'm here. Thank God it's Friday, right? Thank goodness it's Friday. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. I was farting around like I do, doing things, painting. It's a messy one tonight. And I'm for it, right? I'm all for it. So hello, friends. I'm here. I'm here. Hello, Lizette. Hola, chica. Hello, Cherie. How are you? Hi, Kari. How you doing? Susie, Brenda, Stacy. And I think I saw lots of you guys were on here chatting. And that's always a good thing, right? That you're keeping each other company where you're like, where's Vicki? And I was coming. I was coming. But I was playing. So tonight's going to be a surprise. For some of you are going to be super excited because you love when I do this, right? So Natalie's giving you the tips to check the resolution. So hover over the little gear, and if the picture doesn't look so great, make sure you're at 720p. Is the sound good? You can hear me, all of the things. So finger painting, but finger painting, doing something you guys tend to love. So do you want to see what I was messing around with? You ready? Look at. We're going to do some flowers, but it's going to be for a layout and a card. So you guys, some of you are going to be nervous about this, but it's going to be good. I guess. Do you want to do flowers tonight, or do you want to do hearts? Because hearts will be very easy. Hearts will be super easy, and we could do those too. We could do hearts, or are you down for the flowers? So it'll be good. So what will you need? I have a mister. I'm going to use a mister. I have a sheet of plastic. I am going to use my texture paste. So you can use acrylic paint. You could use whatever you want. Do you remember when we did the OG finger painting, which is one of my favorite backgrounds we've ever done? Was just with this set. So even just inexpensive watercolors. I have this as well if I decide to use some metallic. But the whole idea, so I sketched it out and it's kind of playing in my head, is that I want these kind of spilling from the bottom of the layout. I've printed photos, and then the idea is it's gonna be fast too. It's not gonna be like we're not farting around tonight. We're gonna get the things done. So my idea, right, is to just kind of have them floating down the page, and it's gonna be very simple. That with a title, and some photos, and we're going to do some paper tearing. So the top of my layout, I'm planning on kind of doing a wave where my photos will sit, and then this is all kind of spilling out from the bottom of the page. Think ditzy floral. So think ditzy floral. That's what the theme is kind of tonight. So I think I'm going to stick though to very simple, just 2 florals, because these are easy, and it's all going to be done with your finger. I'm not using a brush at all. So my tools tonight are whatever pigment you're using. I have a sheet of acrylic, so I can use it as a mixing palette, because I will use that general palette, and that will be what I create from. And then I need a water bottle, because you need, like, especially this paint that I'm using is texture paste, right? So it is going to be like a chalky paint. It needs to be pretty wet. So when you're dipping your finger in to make your petals, it needs to flow. You'll have more success if it flows off your finger. And then I have a piece of foundations paper. And then whatever you want to create your layout with. Like literally, and you might want a pen. So I have the white Posca again if I want to use it. And I have a black pen. They both need to be permanent. So when they get wet, they don't run. But it's literally very few tools tonight. And I'm going to keep the layout literally like matte my photos, a little bit of embellishment, and then some alpha, because I printed pictures, if any of my Aussie friends are here, from Bondi Beach. So we had take I had taken this photo and then one of Devin, but I'm going to reprint it because it didn't print out very well. So I know some of you guys want lots of photos. This is a mixed media background. So it is like the two are going to be friends on the background. So how y'all doing anyway? That's so you can grab your stuff now. I'll give everybody a few minutes, but florals for spring, sure. Whatever you want to do, right? I was looking at it and I was doing a whole bunch. Hello, Simone. How are you? Posca pens are permanent. Yes, they're acrylic. They're paint. So, and that I would be using as my last layer if I was going to use them. But I am using pretty much wherever it is. I'll show you this one. Micron, my go-to, right? My go-to. My Micron. That is my go-to when I'm doing all these doodly things. So last weekend was the Discover and Create weekend. Thank you for everybody who joined. It was really awesome. I chose a winner and I have to find the piece of paper I wrote it on. So hopefully from 2 weeks ago, this is what we did 2 weeks ago. I have images on it and everything. So I have to tell you guys, no word of a lie, I am doing what I said I was going to do. Like, look at what we've created already this year, right? Layout with photos and journaling. Layout with photos and journaling. Ready? Completed it. We did this one. Layout with photos and journaling. And then this is the one I left you guys with. And I went back and really went crazy. And I really love how this one turned out. So we had done the cool technique for the letters, and we did some really loose doodlies with watercolor, dripping watercolor circles, and I went really crazy with the copper on it. And I love how this turned out. So that's how that one, I haven't posted it. I just realized I didn't post it. And for all of those, like, I have cards. I've created cards. Isn't that crazy? Happy birthday, Cherie. Happy birthday. Look at, so this one is not on a base yet, but look at that one. I love it. This one does not have a sentiment on it, but look at it. It is a card eventually. And then this is the one from last week, and I really, really love it. Well, not last week, 2 weeks ago when I was here. It was a Valentine's Day card that I was supposed to post, a non-traditional mixed media Valentine's Day card. So I'm doing all the things, friends. I'm very excited. And then we did some traditional scrapbooking last weekend. We did all of the things with Discover and Create, and it was freaking phenomenal. I loved it. And if you guys weren't aware, because I have not got my stuff together well enough to send out a newsletter, but we've talked about those 10 plus layout pages, and both of them are up on vickybooten.com. I have about 20 of each of them left. We have almost sold through, so I figure in a week they'll be gone, right? So we're going to be doing the one with Cedar House. The kit is gorgeous, and the other one is True Colors, gorgeous as well. So both of them are up on vickybooten.com. We kitted up, packed up the Canadian ones today. Obviously, they're not going out over the weekend, so they'll ship on Monday. And then Rich and I are working on, sorry about that, coughed in your ear. And then we're working on the US ones tomorrow and on Monday. And for my cruise friends, all those kits went out, and that's what I've been working on is the album and layouts for the cruise. And then my plan for the mixed media is next. It's a lot, right? So yay, you got your shipping notice. Yeah, but I missed the cutoff to drop them off at the post office because I have to go to the big post office for that. So they'll go out on Monday. So no rush because we're not ready to do those for a while. But just to let you know, all that's what I've been up to this week. Craziness, right? So I'm flipping the camera and we're going to get right into the things. We have, there's no time for me. I enjoy the making, but I leave on a cruise a week from Tuesday, right? Some time ago, you mentioned getting various brands of photo paper. I ordered all of them. I just haven't had a chance to test them. So I ordered about 5 different brands of photo paper. So I will be doing that at some point. It's craziness is going to start happening soon because, well, right now. I go back to back cruise and then I come back and teach on in April at back to back events. So April is a write off. That's going to be hard, right? I know it's almost cruise class. So what is Vicki madly trying to finish? Madly trying to finish my album for it, and then the layouts. And the album is now just needs to be embellished. So anybody who's on the cruise with that, there will be extra kits. It's not going to happen till I get back. So it's a lot of people have been emailing me. I am making a list. So if you did email saying, hey, I'd love one of those extra cruise kits. It's a huge kit. So just know that it's big. And any of the people out there who got their boxes already, there's a lot of stuff in it. So it will be coming, but I can't really, I'm going to have to shut things down because I have a lot I have to finish before Rich and I fly off to see all of our friends to float on a big ship for a couple of days, right? Life is upside down, right? And this is why Friday nights are super important. So I love that I take the time to do this with you guys. But like I said, I just sat down and did these lickety split, quick, little loose doodles. So I think we're going to just stick with these 2 patterns because they're going to be the easiest. And then, like, look at, I love those ones too. How fun are those? So all the painting was with my fingers. I let it dry and I doodled on it, right? Do we have to go on the cruise to get the extra kits? No, like that's what I'm saying, that for the, if you're looking for the product line that I use is a mix of, most of it's coast to coast from American Crafts. And then there is some Discover and Create mixed in there. So it will be album and layouts. So that will be, a lot of people have reached out to me. You're on the list. I think I only bought 25 extra. So it's not a big one. It's when they're gone, they're gone. But if you know that you're going to be traveling, it is very loose travel kit, right? Like very loose themed. Because I run into problems when I'm not using my own product line that the scale of some of the ephemera and stuff is very small. So I have to get very creative. So it's getting very creative with this, but love the color palette. It's going to be very fun. So are we ready to go? Any questions before we get started on what you need? Here is your main tool. My little weirdo finger, right? It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Very loose. Like I said, I'm going to talk to you about my plan because I think you have to have a plan because we're not cutting these ones out. You could do a second page and then cut some out if you want to add texture, but I want this to literally be finger painting on a background and make a layout very simple, like 4 or 5 steps after your painting's done. So I'm going to stick to the plan, and then I'm going to probably not make the card live, but I'm going to just duplicate it, the same kind of idea on a card, and make a finger painted card with just a sentiment on it. So I love it. You're watching with my niece Florence. I love that. Welcome, friend. So let's do the things. Hello, Melanie. How are you? You're not watching in Florence. It's your niece Florence, right? I like that. I think I'll make some big blue glazed flowers tonight. Go for it. I love it. Love it. So I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to Blair Witch you because it's just the regular old setup. And take a deep breath, Vicki, because I'm talking really fast. Let's do the things. So I'll just flip my camera around and then we can catch up. We can catch up and do the things. We are going to be painting and having a lot of fun tonight with, like I said, your little finger. Love it. Here we go. Right, let me get this in here, not hang up on you guys. I've plugged everything in. I need to adjust my lights, and I'll talk to you guys about what I have. Have I missed stuff? You can send an email for info, at vickybooten.com for information on the cruise kits. Like I said, they're very limited. Hello, Danielle. and Lindsay are in playing along tonight. I love that. You love this. So what's fun is I didn't say we were going to be doodling flowers. And then when I sat down and started playing, I'm like, I think we need to doodle flowers. I think that that will be, sorry, I want to just adjust. It's a little crooky. I think that that will be a fun little thing tonight. You're hypnotized by my earrings. I know they're very dangly, aren't they? Just a girl in her basement, I tell you. A crazy girl in her basement lately. That's what I feel like, a wackadoo in her basement. So I just came down here and made these quick and literally painted them and then just did very loose doodles. Very loose doodles. And you could even do smaller scale if you want. But I want the whole idea to, could you use lunar paste? You could try, but it's a lot of metallic and it's not super heavily pigmented. But you know what I say, give it a try. I might use that as an accent, maybe for the centers of the flowers. You could use, like I said, inexpensive watercolor set. Like we did magic. We created magic with this set. You could use acrylic paint. You can totally use oxides. Just know that it will massively stain your finger. Look at all the colors washed off except for the turquoise in this line. But whatever, I don't care. I'll wash it. I'll wash my hair. It'll come out off my fingers eventually. So I know for some of you, you are not going to be as, use your scrubby tool. I have a whole bunch of those too. Like things to wash your hands, but whatever. It makes me feel like an artist. So I just kind of go with it. But any pigment really will work. I am kind of digging, like these are more like a heavier acrylic and these are almost dried out. These are old, like they've been open for a long time. But I love that this is just showing you, you can get use out of these, even though they're not going to be great for texture paste now, because they're acrylic paste. As they dry, it turns into like almost a rubber. But they will work very nicely with what we're doing tonight. And we're going to mix and make some crazy kind of colors. I'm going a little bit earthy because when we mix, say, some of the pink with some of the turquoise, and some yellow, it will give us like plum colors and such. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, you do whatever you want tonight. My idea for this, do I have something I can sketch on? Let's see if there's one of these sides doesn't have anything on it. Let's see. Okay. So for my layout, I was thinking it'd be fun to use like just gray on the background. All my color really is going to be in the photos, the matte, and where the floral is. So I'll hold this up to the camera. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of tear my paper like this. So I'm going to tear my paper. So it's going to be pattern paper at the top, right? This is going to be pattern paper. And it's going to be one of the gray backgrounds. I'm going to use all neutrals in this, and all the colors going to come from my florals. So I'm going to probably mount my photos something like this, right? It's just going to be a little cluster like this, maybe with some mattes. And then I'm going to be doing my florals coming down from here like this. So they're just going to be kind of floating down in a pattern like this. And then that pattern paper is going to go on top. So I don't know about the rest of everything, but that is my plan for the art. So I'm going to draw a pencil line a little bit above. Like, so if this is where my paper is going to tear, I'll just draw my pencil line like this. And then I won't care about having to erase it because all my florals will be underneath. So still have my M&Ms. I will get them redone next week before I go away. But yes, I hate these nails, but yes, I still have them, Laura. So I'm going to build this layout. Probably you're going to be rotating your paper. That's the other thing I want you to remember. You can't rotate your arm. Like, that's weird. So what you'll do is be moving your paper. So I think it would be fun to do these kind of in clusters. So when you're thinking about it, like here's going to be my larger scale flowers are going to be here. Okay, larger scale flowers are like that. And then I'm going to fill it in with some of the little ditzy blooms, like those yellow ones will be here, maybe some here, and maybe some over here. So that's going to be kind of my pattern. And this is, I don't want you to overthink it. This is like, get it on the page and just paint away. And I'm going with a really funky palette because it won't matter, because I'm going to use a gray background. So can everybody see? Did I move everything a little too far? Let's see. I'm going to adjust again. Are we good to go? Any questions before we get started? Who's playing with me? Who's a little nervous? Oh, I should put it on chat. Because it's top chat, I'll put it on live chat so I don't miss any of your comments. I am not streaming on Facebook anymore, only on YouTube, because the quality of the video has been atrocious when I try to use my streaming platform. So until I have better Wi-Fi, I have to just stream directly through my phone to YouTube. I miss doing it on Facebook. I think we lose a whole huge group, because I'd have to say my biggest following is, believe it or not, on Facebook. So it's tough. Here's the other thing I want to tell you. If you just want to practice on a page and then do the real thing later, you can totally do that. Right? You don't have to. I'm going to do this. I'm going to give her. I'm going to give her. The other thing you want to kind of think about is some flowers are going to be in front and some are behind. So if we're doing a 5-petal flower, you might only do 3 petals behind some of those 5 petals. Okay? And the other thing is, it's a piece of paper in your time. We're not going to freak out about this if it doesn't work out. We're going to try it again until we get it right. Right, friends? So it's good. I prefer Facebook. Much easier to chat. I know. I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll try to do it between 2. Maybe we'll start doing, when I have a little bit more time on my hands, is maybe on Wednesday I'll do a Facebook one, and then on Fridays here. But I hear you. I right there with you, right? Do you repost your lives on Facebook? I don't know. No, I just keep them all on YouTube, but the link's there. But I think the interaction is probably easier on Facebook. We'll have to figure it out. I just know the videos are blurry, and that drives me crazy. So anyway, let's do the things. Yeah, YouTube is good. The quality seems to be the best, right? So it's one of those things that once you figure it out, it'll be good. You'll be able to do all of the things. So like I said, I am going to use this plastic sheet. There's all this stuff on the background, but you know that if you have old packs of foundations paper, this is just the acetate that is off that paper. So I'm going to use this as my base. I have my mister that I filled with water. I'm going to use a very random, weird palette, and we're going to mix it to make colors that, for the most part, are going to be kind of reds and oranges and yellows, and then definitely the yellows with the pink. Okay, so like I said, some of these are starting to dry out, but they're still working. You know what I mean? They're getting a little bouncy, because as the moisture is leaving it, it's going to go to kind of a plasticky material. So it's fine. They're still going to work. Like I said, this is not for the faint of heart. This is a messier technique, right? Messier technique. It's a little bit of a messier technique. Have your wipes ready. Have some paper towels ready. There we go. And then I'm going to put some of the pink. Like I said, you pick any. I was going to use the neons. Guess what? Guess what, Julie? They were totally dried out. And now I don't have anything here. It's all at my storage place, right? Or my studio place. So we had to go with this set. But my plan was for neons tonight, believe it or not. So go for it. We'll do another one with neon. We'll repeat this with neons. But for tonight, I'm going to use what I have, just like I tell you guys, right? Use what you have. Could you use distress paint? Sure you could. You could use whatever you want. I really think that using acrylic or a heavier base paint is kind of a cool thing with this. But like I said, these are totally starting to dry out. So I like that I have some kind of use for it before they go in the garbage. And then a little bit of the blue Hawaiian and a little bit of blueberry pie. It is very rainbowy colors, but they're not going to be rainbow when we put them on. So that's going to be the little fun thing here. They're not going to be rainbowy when we put them on our page. This is the same palette I used to get this. Gotta just watch sometimes with the red and yellow though, so it doesn't look like mustard and ketchup. So have you selected your palette? Like I said, these are almost dried out, but I'm going to try to push it and get whatever I can out of it. So if you want to have a scrap piece of paper with you as well, then you could totally they need to be wet. This technique is a very wet technique when we do it, okay? I'm going to have a second sheet of plastic here too if I want to have something I can blend my colors on a little bit more freely. So I will have that second sheet of plastic. Oops. Could you do it right on your craft mat? You sure could. Hello. What is the best way to store the paste to prevent them from drying out? I've had these for years. This set for years. So the best thing to do is when you open them, use them. That's the best thing. None of these mediums are going to last forever. The other thing you can do is put a piece of press and seal across it when you close it, because the thing is air's getting in here. So when air gets in here, it's not going to be completely impermeable because it's plastic, right? So I would say that you could totally put some press and seal across it, but use it, right? It's not one of those things like a pencil crayon. It's not a stable medium. It's a wet medium. So it's eventually just going to dry out. Have your stuff handy so you have something to wipe your fingers on. And let's talk about some color mixing. So I'm using my finger. I have no other tool, just a palette knife to get it out. I am strictly going to use my finger. Strictly going to use my finger. Okay. So if I want to take some of that red and I'm going to pull some of that out with my finger, that has to be wet. I don't want it to go on like a acrylic. I want it to be flowing on my page. I'm not going to be using red directly. So now I'm going to wipe my finger off and I'm going to pull some of this pinky color in here. Okay, it's like a pinky purple. And I'm going to start to mix and make a new color. See, not wet enough. So get that pigment flowing around. Now that's a very pretty purpley pink. I'm going to go with this to start. Okay. Now I want that when I touch it, it's going to be flowing like a watercolor, but it's almost like a gouache because it's not completely transparent. I did draw on one of these pages already. I don't know where it is, so let's just do it again. So we know Vicki wants to do kind of this idea. Okay. So now I have my line. Do whatever you like. Okay, I just drew a line because I want my bigger flowers are going to be here, and then the little ones are going to fill. Keeping in mind, though, I don't want it to just look like flower sneeze. I want these flowers to be clustered right here and then kind of trickle down. So the majority of them are going to be here. So we know we're covering the top. Why don't you start with your first flower up here? And we're going to just do We have to move it, right? And I'm pulling my pigment into the center. Should I move the camera closer? I'll move the camera closer. But look at that. There's my first flower. Whoop, whoop. With my finger as a tool, which is the best brush you could use for this technique. Let's move closer. I can move it away later, but I think that's better, right, friends? Is that better? Boop, boop, boop. Is it focused? We're good. So I really want you to keep in mind that you need to move even closer than this. I think this is good. Right? You'll be able to see. And I'll move it up, right? So let's do the things. I don't know why it looks so dark tonight. Is it just me? So I'm moving my camera closer, the light closer. The focus is good. I'm going to move this light closer. Do all the things, Vicki. There we go. Grab my water. And now we're ready. We're ready to rumble. Ooh. Okay. So I love that flower. I'm going for it. So I'm going to add another pink one. Make sure that's wet. And I am going to start my placement about here, because that one we're not going to see, right? Pull into the center. And I don't want you thinking about this too much. I want you to just get your flowers on here, right? Just get it on there. Look at that. It's a flower. Let's pull a little bit more of that red to do now another color of flower. Oops, turn your page. It's okay if they overlap. I might do another one now. With a little bit more of the red. Here. Just make sure it's wet enough. That is going to be your biggest thing. So have you guys found that if you weren't using enough water, you get a really heavy kind of fingerprint in it? Okay. So there's my 3 kind of flowers. I'm going to add now, make a new color. So I can take a little bit of red over here. Take a little bit of red. Some water. Wipe your finger. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. Now here's what this color is going to look like. Let's pull it down here. You can't see it on there. So it's kind of an orangey vibe going on. Okay. Let's throw a little pink in there too. Ooh, I love it. See, kind of a little pinky color. Peachy, what would you call that color? Okay. And then let's go in here. That one is a little wonky, but I'm just going to go with it. That one needs a little bit more pigment in it. It's a little too watery. So let's just blend that again. A little bit more pigment. Salmony. Yeah, it's like a salmony color. Does anybody have any questions? Are you doing the things? I want to know if you're actually doing this. And what kind of results are you getting so far? Do you have any questions? So I put some more in there. I just crunch all the little doobies in there. now we need a little yellow. I'll use my other brush. Right? And then it definitely needs water. It's too thick. If it's too thick, it's not going to move anywhere. Ooh, the color blended in here. It's freaking awesome. Not thrilled. Yes, persevere. This is only, remember, we're not supposed to really look at what we're making just yet. We're just going to go in there. I'm going to do another one here with that peachy color. Move your page and don't overthink it. Just throw her on there. Throw those little 5-petal flowers on there. Love it. Might do another one down here. Ooh, that's pretty heavy, but I'm going for it. And you can tap into your flower more than once, right? Remember this one I didn't really love. So how am I going to fix that up a little bit? I love that. Okay. So let's get a little bit, I don't want to use a ton of yellow on here, but I'm going to throw a little bit more red on that color that I made, and I'm going to get crazy. You ready for this? And I'm going to throw a little bit of blue in here. So I'm going to use my other brush, and I'm going to throw some blue into that mix that really, are you thinking it's going to be kind of muddy, but it's going to give me a little bit of earthier. Look at an earthier red. Love that. That's like, I feel like I'm a Revlon person. I'm making like new lipsticks. Ooh, I love that earthiness. I'm going to throw a little bit of pink in there though. It's a little too dark. So a little bit more pink in there. Ooh, love that. And it needs water. Like if it's staying on my palette, if I do this and it's really staying, it's not wet enough, right? So let's get in with a little earthiness. Ooh, like even test it, right? Test it. I love that color. I love that color. So I'm going to go in and do one here. You want some white space or you'll just have a mess, right? Oh, I love that. There we go. Yeah, kind of brickish color, right? But I don't want this to be rainbow. I really want it to kind of have an earthier vibe. I do want to pull another pink one down in here. Oh, I love it. So you also can go in and there's no reason you can't touch another color in with what you've done, like the other ones you've done. Like maybe I want to earth that one up a little, right? So go in and put a second color on there. There's no reason you can't. I think it just gives it a little bit of variation to touch some of the other color in there. And then when it dries, right, you'll have a little something going on. So I might tie a little bit of yellow in here now. just so the yellow makes sense. When I go to the brighter yellow, right? I want maybe a little bit of yellow in there. Love it. Gonna do, let's do that kind of yellowy color up here. Pull some more red in there. Ooh, I love this color. Question, color theory. If you wanted some hue, do you start dark and lighten with white? Okay, so, well, white, if you add white, it won't give you, like, it will give you a lighter shade of the same pigment. But when you start adding white, it's going to kind of change the whole value of what you're doing. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like your value is going to be completely different when you add white or black into these. So I'm trying to make my colors without adding a lot of, I love this color. I want some more pink in here though. So I added some red in that. And let's throw a little pink. And this pink out of this set is kind of a little purplier. There's a lot of blue in it. So I don't know if I would, depends what you're trying to go for. What, adding the white in there is going to give you more of a pastel. It's not going to necessarily change your color. It's going to give you more of a pastel. I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's do some here, and then we're going to start filling in our yellows. Maybe another one down here with a little bit more of that blue in there. Ooh, kind of digging that. Now let's think of what flower could we put in here that's kind of an accent with blue. So I'm going to do like this. Like a little dot, little flower. That's maybe like little 4 dots, right? 4 little dots. You got to really watch because I blew on my fingernail. So let me show you. It's kind of purple. They're almost like going to be like berries maybe, right? They could be kind of berries. So let's move. Vicki made a little bit of a mess of that one, but like I said, right? I don't need a lot of paint. I'll make it into some kind of flower. Dot, 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 dot. That's what you have to say when you do those little purpley flowers. Dot, 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 dot. Dot, 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 dot. Oh, I love it so much. So I'm trying to just use the tip of my finger to put like little polka dots, right? And I'm going to put a little bit of that in some of those kind of purpley flowers in the middle, just to tie that color in. Right? So you can, when they dry, because this is really wet on some of them. So I'm just looking now. Now is time to, I'm kind of looking at my, don't press too hard though, Michelle. I'm literally just boop, boop, boop. Little fingerprints, right? It is almost little cat paws. So that's kind of where I'm at so far. I'm loving it. How you guys feeling about your art so far? I want another pinky one right up in here. Doesn't look like anything right there. Let's fix that a little. There, a little bit of pink there. Try some of that pink in some of these orange ones. Pull that pigment around a bit because I know it's going to pool in kind of a weird way. So your results aren't going to necessarily be the same as mine because your paint could be different, right? So I'm loving that. Now I'm going to do, right, some little clusters, tight little clusters of yellow. So I'm done with my palette so far. I'm going to do some tight little clusters of yellow. I'm loving this too, I have to say, Irma. I love it. Like I'm loving that right now. That looks kind of like a little mess up there, but it's okay. They aren't all going to be perfect. So I'm going to go in literally with yellow, bright yellow. So I'm not mixing anything into my palette, but I want it to not be too heavy with the paint. So we'll test one up here, right? Do I want just yellow? Let's see. Yes, I want just yellow. What else could earth? Because if I put anything else in yellow, I'm not going to get the results. So I just got to make sure there's enough paint on my fingers. Yeah. And these are going to be just little 4 petal flowers, okay? So just little 4 petal flowers. Very small, almost like the purple ones, okay? 4 or even 5. You just want tighter. So little tighter. And I'm clustering them all in the one area, okay? Your pinky finger, yeah, go for it. If you find that you're a little too heavy-handed with your pointer finger, don't use it. Very good. So how are you guys doing? How was your week? Do we have birthdays? I heard that it was Cherie's birthday. My friend from Australia. Love that. So I don't want to mix these in. I just want like a little cluster of yellows. So it's like a little accent, right? So I might only do like 3 little flowers down here. The pen is going to make the difference. The pen is what pulls it all together, Robbie. Right? That's where I'm like, this is only one layer, right? Don't look at this and go, oh my goodness, it looks like cockapoo-poo. We're not there yet, right? So I'm going to do the 3 there, and then I'm going to do a little, this is almost like a ditzy floral, I would call it, right? So I'm going to do just a couple up here. And I'm almost done. Like sometimes you got to know when to stop, right? So the one thing I will do though is I will do some centers. Like I will add a little bit of yellow maybe to a couple of the darker centers, just so it makes sense that that yellow isn't just kind of floating around for no reason. And then what other centers do I want to do? If I can get that little pink to work, but I don't know if I can. How we doing out there? So happy birthday to your daughter. Happy birthday to Mama. My mother's birthday and my DC's birthday's tomorrow. I love that. Happy birthday, DC. Happy birthday, Danielle. My mom's birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday to Sheila. Right? You're welcome, Karina. It's a lot of fun though, right? And when we go and put our little doodlies on here, I had to clean that up because I got pulled too much red. Let's throw a little bit of the turquoise in there. What color are we going to get? Ooh, it's going to be like a different colory blue. Look at that. But I don't know. I don't know if I want any more of purple, but let's go for it. Why not? So happy birthday to the mama bear. I feel like it's good. I'm going to leave it. Hard to type with painty fingers, right? 100%. So what I will do now is pull my heat gun out. I'm going to speed the process. Okay, we're going to speed the process. Oh, I do want pink centers in the middle of my flowers, the yellow flowers. Just a tiny, tiny little pink dot. And I'm going pink with a little bit of yellow in it. A little yellow, just to make it a brighter, little bit brighter pink. Love that. Okay, so I want my finger wet. And I'm literally just going to press, boop, a little, oop, too wet. I'm going to dry my, I think the yellow ones a little bit. I'm going to dry them first. Can I steal some of that pink out of there? Yes. Because if the yellow is too wet, guess what? It's not going to be pink. It's going to turn the salmon-y color, like is happening with some of these. Ooh. Ooh. I gotta fix that. Oop. I picked all my pigment out. So now we're hoping I can get it back on here, because it does just kind of changes the dynamic of that pigment where it was already drying. I'm gonna try to fill that in and not make a mess, but I'll fix it with my pencil line there. Don't do what Vicki just did. And that was go too crazy with your paper towel. It'll pick all the pigment up. So I'm going to go a little lighter there. Just stopping that from happening. And then we'll tap the color back in. There we go. good. Okay. You're a March Pisces as well? So happy birthday to friends, family, anybody who was celebrating a birthday this week. I hope your day was special. So just careful when you're drying these too that you don't bake your paper too much. Because in a perfect world, you'd let this just sit and dry. But I don't have time for that. So it's not a perfect world. But I'm not going to bake it like a cookie. Okay? Find a clean spot on my paper towel. Because also it has to be dry when you go to add your pen marks, right? Like to bake the back, it'll flatten out a bit. Doo-doo. We could put this through, you could put it through your Mink or whatever you use for that. I'm gonna add a little more detail to some of these yellow ones. Like this one that I totally made a mess out of. I don't know. Sometimes, like I said, we have to just kind of leave it, just go with it. And I think that's the situation here. Just go with it, Vicki. Okay, I'm going to put my little pink centers in my yellow flowers. Let's just see if that will work. Yep. Oh, I love it. Okay. So now, because the yellow is all dry, you can get a really nice little center in these. So if there's anything else that's on here that you feel needs a more defined center, now would be the time to do it. So what color would I want to do? Maybe some of that kind of making the earthiness. I might just blend it into what I have going on here. Pull in some of that turquoise. And some pink. Purple, which would kind of work because I'm going to use this blue paper. this gray paper. This is what's going to be at the top of my mat. So I might need a little bit more green in there. Let's see if I can kind of duplicate a version of this. Maybe a little yellow. Oh, that made it more blue again. We'll just go with it. I'm just going to go with it. So I'm going to do that in these ones. Very good. Okay, so once your color's dry, that's when you can go in and add a little bit of the center color, whatever you want. I'm not doing all these this kind of bluey color, but I'm going to put it on those. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the pink. I'm going to make that kind of salmony color again. Salmony color. Oops, too much red. And I'm even going to tap a little bit of that gray out. Just soften it. Very good. I just want some pink. A little bit of yellow. There we go. Very good. Whoopee! Just so it looks like there's some kind of center in some of these. Okay, enough. Step away. It's time to doodle. So just dry those centers. How we doing, friends? And I'll hold this up. Like I said, my light is really dark. I don't know why. Because my screen looks dark tonight. Downplay that yellow. Okay, let's go for it. So I'm done painting. Whatever I have here is what I have. What I might do, though, because I have a card I have to make, right? Is before I clean up all these paints, I'm going to do a quick second shot. Just that I can use on a card. And I'm going to let this completely dry. This one, no heat gun. See, that's not enough water. When it looks kind of all kind of smuckered. So I'm going to do a quick one that we can. This one I'm going to do too, where I'm going to put like the colors together. I'm not going to spread them all out. Like I'll do like some pink here. And then do some yellow. Oops, I'm dragging it in the paint. And then I'll hold up what I did over there. Let that dry. What do we want? Some of this. And this is going to be for my card, which is going to be another very simple mixed media background with a sentiment on it. So maybe one more of these. Put a little bit more of that red in there. I love these ones, are turning out really pretty. So how you guys doing out there? Are you looking at it and going, ooh, I don't know about this? Or you're giving it a chance? So I love that. I'm leaving that, and I'm going to put a couple little yellow ones. This is one of those Vicki focus kind of things, right? If you noticed, not a ton of talking, because I've been kind of more focused on the art. But I agree that with my big sausagey fingers, right? Then you're like, ooh, I was loving it, and now I hope I didn't overdo it with the yellow. So why do you say that, Michelle? Why do you think it looks pretty bad? Well, I realize I have chubby fingers, hence fat flowers. Or are you pressing down, Paula? Is it chubby fingers, or do you think maybe you're pressing down? So maybe one of those, one more of these here. So I'm going to leave that now. But you guys get the idea. This is going to be the card. But I'm going to leave it for right now because I don't know what it needs. It's going to need something, but... Okay. I love that, though. And now we'll just let those dry. Because my yellow is blending in there. I should have waited for the yellow. See, things that you learn is it probably would have been perfect if I would have, or another option could have been waiting for the other colors to dry and do the yellow after. Because it will do that watercolor bleeding, same technique, right, as what we did with the circles. Because watercolor will blend in. But I'm going to set that aside to completely dry. I'm not going to heat gun it. We got to find a spot. And guess what we're going to do now? We're going to doodle. For those to dry flat. So get rid of your mess. Because I'm done with that. Because I'm committed. Whatever I'm just throwing this one away today because I have other sheets and I just don't want to deal with it. I just don't even want to deal with that. We'll wipe up the rest of the stuff and we will get ready to doodle with a clean baby wipe so that you're not putting paint everywhere, because that's what I'm currently doing. And wash your hands. I didn't use any metallic though, which I don't know if I'm going to. I said metallic, but I don't think I need it. I'm not going to do it this time. I want to kind of just keep the simple, and I could always go in later with some like gems and stuff, right? So what's the matter, Tony? You have the scary face or the surprise. Okay. I'm cleaning up. Sometimes, right, it's like I want this to be where it's not a super labor-intensive background, that you can get really fun mixed media watercolored, finger painted flowers in without a ton of effort. So the doodles, right, can be tricky, but remember what this is, a piece of paper in your time. So don't be too hard on yourself. You might have to practice this a bit, right? Is this dry-ish? So my paper has a little buckling, but I don't care. When you threw away the plastic. I did, only because I have a whole bunch. I have a whole bunch of them because I kit that paper. So I always keep the backgrounds or the top. So I have lots. I have lots. So now when we go into doodle, this pen is a 05. I like the thickness of this. So I like the thickness of this. When you go in to do these flowers, so these are my kind of practicey ones up top, I want to make the yellow ones looser and more of a rounded petal. Okay. I want these ones to be more of a daisy-like petal. So I went a little crazy when I was doodling these. I don't know if I want all that black on there, so I might go a little looser. So when you go in, you aren't going to really take your time. You want to go pretty, like, doodle it fast. Otherwise, your lines get too heavy. You also want to kind of decide which flowers are on the top and which ones are kind of behind. So I am going to look here, and I know this pink one is going to be on the, I'll make this one on the top. I'm going to make this one on the top. So let's practice on here. So when I go in, I'm going to do kind of like this. like just a loose double circle for those ones. A loose double circle. But you could also just kind of outline it like that if you want to. If you're like, I don't think I like, maybe I will too. I'm not going to do the double circle. I'm just going to do like a circle like this. So I'm just going to go in like this. Remember what I taught you guys before about lift your pen to bring it around? It can be a broken line, right? You do not have to do, and you can go in here after and we can do a double line on them. This should be really, really loose and light. Okay, what was the question? Lisa, are you in Canada, the US? Canada or the US? Because the Canadian boxes are packed, so it means they're weighed. I weighed all of them, so I can't for any Canadian orders, but I haven't started packing the US ones yet. The other thing I want you to remember is turn your page, not your arm. Do a petal, turn the page. So you're drawing it the same way, okay? Yeah, they, I think yours is packed and weighed, so I won't be able to add to it. Those ones, we got the Canadian ones, thank goodness. All done today. So I'm going to start on this one, and I'm going to loosely do petals like that, okay? I'm going to do loose like this. And maybe I'll lift. I'm going to do that. Don't color. I want to color some in the white, some in the color. So that is my top flower. Okay, that's my top flower. So I can go in here, like I said, and add a double line if I want to. And then we'll decide what we're doing in the center. I think with these ones, I'm going to do little circles in the center. So you could even, if you want to build up your center first, you could do that. Like you could build your kind of little berries in the center first. And then you could do your circle. Right? Just loose. Very loose. This one is kind of wonk, so that's fine. Turning my page. Okay. We could do some that have kind of like a little doobie circle. I want that pink one to be on top again. Right, so that petal's going to go behind it. Because it's hard sometimes to go around it, right? So if you lift it, like if you can do that, no problem, do it. But sometimes you can lift and it makes it easier to come down the backside, right? Hi.
You're looking at the grand champion.
The grand champion. You didn't get the booby prize this time.
I got the #1 prize.
He is an athlete after all. So that one, right?
No, I was the #1. Did everyone hear me?
Yeah, we're drawing right now. Today is not the day for your hijinks.
I won it all.
Like, so what are you trying to say, dude?
Wait,
Like,
you say
did-
congratulations.
Congratulations. Did any money come with that?
No.
Yeah, so okay.
Just a ribbon
A ribbon.
participation one.
You got a participation ribbon. We know Rich has got to, he's got to have his fans. So let me look at your questions because I'm sure I'm missing some. So sometimes I lift, sometimes I don't lift. But I also do this a lot. I'm fairly confident with the drawing side of it, right? Athlete in the house. He's a winner. He's a winner, all right. Hi, Poppy. How are you? I had to drop my friend off at the airport. She was here visiting from New York. Very exciting. Any questions? I'll hold up. So here's where I'm at so far. I'm very much digging it, right? I'm digging it. This is a little darker palette than I normally would have. So I'm liking it very much. So I want this one to be kind of the swirly center. So we can talk about some things too, if you're like some things that can help if you're like, this is where next you might want to go in with some metallic, because maybe you're like, the metallic I think might help add some accents. So I'm just doing double circle, right? How we doing out there, friends? Are some of you struggling? Because this can be a little tricky, right? She thought she had blood on her hands. I love that. Well, I don't, but I think that's cute. That's what I meant. I don't love that she screamed. I just think that's funny that she thought you had injured her. Do do do. I just thought this would be a fun kind of thing. You guys tend to like the drawing ones. I know that the flowers are a little bit more advanced than, say, the trees are, but it is very scripty and loose, because I find that that can be a little less intimidating, right? It's looking better, yes, with your lines. So what will make a difference? The pen that you're using, right? The pen you're using will make a difference. If you're using a Sharpie and your lines are heavier, your overall look is going to be a little bit different than mine, right? But if you're using a thin pen, you will have a little bit different results. Than if you are using the heavier. Did I get them all? One more, and then we'll start with the next ones. I think that definitely jeweling these or using stickles in the center of your flowers to add a little dimension will be good. But can I tell you, Paula, that's the whole thing, is we really, with the color, was just depositing ink, just depositing pigment. Now you go in and put the detail, and this, again, is what I talk about all the time. It's layers, 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 right? It's all about the layers. So you'll find everything that you add on these is going to just elevate the art. That's why I always want to get you guys where I'm like, don't look at it yet. We're not done. This is only part of it, right? So we have the main flowers are done. So now we have to decide with these, I feel like the little blue things are almost like maybe like blue hyacinths. So I'm really going to just do circles. Like that. I love it. Right? Do you know what I'm talking about? Almost like little, that's a hyacinth, right? The hyacinth, the ones that are just like, they smell beautiful, but they're just kind of little balls, right? You use the gold lunar for the centers and you love it. Awesome. Yeah, I love that. And it's practice, practice, practice with just getting better at the drawing is literally practice. Starting to come together. Right? What size micron? This is my go-to always. The 0.5. Yeah, 0.5. This is my favorite. And I buy multiples because they don't last forever. Sometimes the tip gets frayed and you'll get like a double line. It starts to do a double line. Okay, so now we're going in. For the yellow ones, I'm going to go looser. So the yellow ones, I'm going to do like a wider petal. So I'm going to go kind of like a fanny petal. Like that. I'll show you. I'm going to go kind of like a fanny petal with the yellow ones. So just kind of like a loose. Fanny petal, and I want my pen lines to be even looser on these ones, so I'm not drawing like a complete line. Right, so very light. I'm hardly even touching the pen to the page. Have you ever heard me this quiet during Friday Night Live? Never! Just needed something a little relaxing art tonight, right? So there's things we can talk about because we could just leave this white we could do the negative painting that we've done before, where we paint around this now with, like, say, turquoise or something, or gray. If you want to lightly fill in some of those areas, we've been known to do. We could put some dots of gold. Very nice, right? Because there's like a lot of open space in here, right? You could paint leaves. Could put some leaves on here. I used my texture paste with a lot of water, Jose, a lot of water. So, Michelle, you don't hate it now, right? So those are that's one of the things I want you guys to learn. You can't quit until it's done, right? It's just a layer, but I love the looseness of it. I feel like it needs a little bit of some kind of filler in there, but then part of me is like, do I really? I don't know. And do you see what I'm saying now? Put the gray on here. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with filling. Because I like this, but I'm going to show you. I am going to pull weathered wood. I'm going to pull some weathered wood distress ink. Weathered wood distress ink. Are you ready? Gotta find it. Where did you put it, Vicki? Got speckled egg too. Maybe a little speckled egg and a little bit of weathered wood. We used it on the weekend. If you were Vicky's, there it is, weathered wood. Get ready for it. Because I want to match this. I'm very excited for this next step. So, as always, I didn't completely tell the truth. I'm going to paint now with some filler. I feel like it's going to bring this all together smashingly. I'm just going to do it right on my craft mat. Weathered wood, maybe some speckled egg. Maybe. So, friends, very important when you go to do this. I'm going to have some regular water, and then I'm going to make my watercolor. I need to float wet on wet. Wet on wet. So normally I would have a whole cup of water. I don't have that right now. So I want to put some clean water in here, and then I'm going to float some distress ink on it. Not on the flowers at all. I'm just going around some of that area. I'm just floating in some distress ink because I feel like that's going to add some interest, and not everywhere. I'm not going to put this everywhere. Just kind of up where it's going to be coming down from the page, where that pattern paper is going to go, okay? And then we can float a little bit of dark in there. I will still leave a little bit of white space. But I think that's going to make this pop a little bit. And then we can do some little gray dots of paint too. let's put a little bit of the speckled egg in here too. Just don't want it too wet, okay? Because it will pool. Dot, dot, dot. Love it. Have your paper towel, so if you have a little bit too much, lift it. Right? If it's pooling a little bit too much, just take some of it out. See, that's making a difference. Love it. I'm not putting this everywhere though, right? Oops. Love it. Just what the doctor ordered. Any questions? So you don't have to use gray. I'm using gray because my paper I'm going to tear on here is going to have some gray. So I am now doing negative watercoloring, right? I'm coloring around the area that we already painted. But this I want very diluted down here, very, just a hint of it. So I just really want just kind of a color wash as we get into here. And I might tap up some of that pigment. So as we got down near here, I want it to literally just kind of float now into just a tint. Of pigment. Just a tint of pigment, hardly any gray in here now. And as it dries, we could darken it a little bit. I like that. So I'm going to just do some drips now at the bottom. I'll hold this up. Can you guys see this very well? This looks very dark to me today. So you could go totally back in here when it's dry and put some drips on. So I'm lifting some, I want some darker and then some lighter. And now I'm just going to go over some of the wet areas with just water. I just want to make sure that just looks like a wash. I'm also going to lift up some of that pigment, whoop, so it's not just pooling there. Very good. Very soft. I'm going to lift all of it up now. Whatever soaked into the paper is all I need. I am going to run this through the Mink, and then we can put some scrapbook stuff on it now, okay? Just lifting the pigment so it's dry because I don't have any patience. So do you see that? Right? I think that just makes them pop a little bit. It will tie it into the layout a little bit. Let's do a couple more drips. So we have light and dark. I'm actually just going to drip it in a little bit and then wipe it off my flowers. Love it. I want those ones to be darker though, so I'm not going to leave. Okay. So now you'll see, done. Know when to stop. Where's the one petal with no outline? Did I miss one? These are covered up here, right? Did I miss one with no outline? Do I not? Oh, one petal. Thank you. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Now I saw it. No, I did not. I just missed it. There we go. Thank you. Very good. Okay. I just tried to put my pencil or paintbrush into the cap. So you get what I'm saying now, right? I want to tear this paper. So we could do double layer, because I think the other thing that'd be kind of fun is to there is a script paper with kind of a purpley blue script, and I think that if that was the first layer and then this was the second, could be really fun. So I want to tear this. How's this look-ish? I might have to draw on it because I don't know if I'll be able to do it freehand. So it's going to be like this. I think I got it. So I'm going to tear this kind of right above that. See how close. See what I'm saying? Look how pretty that's going to be. I'm going to flatten this paper though. I'm going to flatten this. And then we'll decide. I think a second layer with that little bit of the purpley blue is going to be pretty. Okay, I'm going to put this through. Let's get the mink. Let's get the mink. If you do not have a mink, you would just put it and set it aside until tomorrow. Let the moisture leave with a book on it. But I use my mink for foiling, believe it or not, too. But I do a lot of mixed media, and I like that this speeds up the process with the drying and flattening. Oops, sorry, friends. I'm shaking that around. So, your iPad died and your phone screen's just too small. Yeah, you can watch it later. It's okay. Whoop. When the light turns green, it'll be ready. I hate the color of this mink. When they sent these, it's supposed to be white, and I would really prefer a white one. I know it doesn't matter. But when they replaced mine when it died at American Crafts, it's purple. What the heck? Certainly is lilac-y, isn't it? So cleaning up a little bit. Definitely love that gray. If I had a second phone, I would take a picture of that base. I just won't maybe glue anything down. It's nice to share stages of this. I do foil. We are going to do one, right? We are going to do little foiling with mediums. It is on my list. To do a foiling class too. But I find that this will help, right? I love the mink so much. I started with a 12-inch and then last year bought the 6-inch. And I would love to have a purple one. Well, if you live closer, I would swap you out the purple one, right? Yeah, what's funny, do you guys remember that we foiled on the original watercoloring finger painting background? Because if you use your acrylic gel, you can foil on top of this. Yeah, you can. So you can do that too, right? Well, and this one won't work for you either in New Zealand. It's still going to have my plug, right? Is it green? Almost. It's getting warm. There we go. So we'll see if 4 is going to be hot enough or if I have to bump it up to 5. Yeah, well, it's no longer the Heidi Swap mink. It is now the We Are mink. So they're bringing a whole bunch of other ones out. Like other stuff to go with it. But it is now just the We Are mink. You'd be able to use it just like your Tim Holtz Vagabond. Yeah, this one does. I think you can get it from American Crafts with your plugs. I think there is one for England and, right? Because that would be the difference, right? England and then for New Zealand, Australia. So why this works is it's a lot of pressure and heat. So it's taking all the moisture out of my paper and flattening it, just like if I left it to dry under some books. So it is doing that for me. So let me show you. Can't rush the process, right? Can't rush the process. Almost. Almost out. we could do it. Do you want me to foil on here? If I can find a little piece, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to do it for you. Okay, give me a second. You're getting all the things tonight. I'm just going to find a little piece of gold foil and show you what I'm talking about with the matte medium. The only problem is it has to dry. Because here's a piece of gold. So let's see if we can cheat. We'll cut the paper. I'll leave the ink out. So what I was saying is I have a piece of foil. I have matte medium. So it just has to dry, so it'll turn tacky with the heat, right? So look at, so flatten my layout out, right? If I put a little bit of my multi-medium, and I'm going to paint the centers of my flowers with this. Okay, so we are going to end up with some foiling. I'm not doing everything, and I'm going to have to let this dry, but we will pick. It's not the best brush because it's hard to make circles, but I hear people moving up there, and I don't know if Devin changed her mind and is going out with her friends tonight or what's going on. So what will happen is this will remain tacky. So we will get some foily accents. I'm going to see if I can cheat a little bit with my heat gun and get this to dry because I'm not putting it on super thick. And we will show you a little bit of magic. So I'm only putting it on the big flower centers. Did I get all of them? And hopefully it works. And I don't look like a liar. Okay, I think I got all of them. I didn't use much, so it should dry pretty quick. Doo-doo. So I have to plug my heat gun back in because it can't be wet. This has to be dry or it won't work. So what can I unplug? I will unplug my laptop first. Whoops! Jeepers. Hope I don't blow a fuse. Now, this is acrylic, so really the heat gun is not your friend, right? It'll make it bubble, but I'm just hoping I can get it dry enough to show you this step. And we can add a little foil. It was not meant to happen tonight, but got out the mink. So this medium has to be completely dry for the foil to stick to it. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, get it started. I'll tear my other piece of paper. I'm going to leave my mink here with this on top, so hopefully it is heating it. You're going to see it happen, Suzanne. I use my multi-medium, so when it goes through the machine, it will get gummy again, and it will actually act like an adhesive with the foil. So I will then cut pieces of foil all over here, and we're going to hope that it works. But I put it in just the centers of the flower. So now it just has to be dry enough that if it's wet, it won't release the foil. The foil won't release on it. So let's tear that second piece of paper I wanted to tear. And then it should be ready, and we'll, fingers crossed, it's going to work for us. Fingers crossed. Where is that blue paper I want to use? So one of these papers, hopefully I have it in the stack, has a script. I think it's on the back of the maybe paintbrushes. Well, one of these. I'm just going to use one that has a script on the back. Nope, it's not on the paintbrushes. Oh, look it. That one will work. I think it'll be so pretty. Or we could do our mats with this. Let's look. Where's the gray? Oh, I kind of like that. So let's find something else to use. That's going to stay with the mats. It's dry enough. And let's hope it'll work, or I'm going to be a liar. I want to try it now. I have 0 amounts of patience, friends. So let's try it. We've done it before. This has been done before. I did a whole class on, or a whole Friday Night Live on foiling with my mediums. So it's out there. This is not top secret. So let's just cut. So when you're foiling, you need to put color side up. It's releasing off of a plastic backing, right? It's going to release off of that. Foil will show. So we're going to stick that on, and we're going to pray that it's going to work. Because I don't know if the medium's dry enough. I don't know if I put enough on. So we're just going to see if it works. If it does, it's going to be fantabulous. I don't think I put any on that one. Okay, let's give it a try. Give it a try. Ooh, don't move. Okay. I have been having the driest skin in the world lately. Anybody else? My goodness. I think that's all of them. Let's see. Okay. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck going in. I don't know if I put enough medium on. We'll see. This is kind of fast, right? But we'll see. Is it going to work? I don't know. So biggest thing, remember, is the medium needs to be dry. If the medium's not dry, it won't release. The foil won't release because it's actually kind of sticking, right? Yeah, I've done it before. Right after there was a live with Tim and Heidi, and I was like, I've done this. I need to do this. So it was right after when it's got to be a solid year ago, maybe even 2. Hi, Brienne. How are you? So we drew flowers tonight, and now we're going to see if we can't use foil with my matte medium, which I know works. I just don't know if I put enough on to make it work on here. We'll see, because I might be a liar. It might not work, because I might have needed a thicker layer, and then that would mean just more dry time. So if it doesn't work right now, I will go in and add more, but I have to let the medium dry because it's not something you can really heat set. I don't think it worked. Let's see. I don't think it worked. Oh, ooh, ooh. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes, it did. Oh, yes, it did. It worked. So there you go. Didn't I blow your mind this time? Didn't I? Didn't I, baby? Yep, it worked. So here we go. Can you see them? There are our foiled centers. So the more medium you use, the more foil will release. Okay? There you go. Beep, beep, beep. So that is a fun. It definitely adds to the mixed media look. And don't forget, I threw that on pretty quick. So you could certainly do a nicer job than what I did. But the more medium, the more foil will release. Like that was thicker, so you got more foil on there. Okay? Oh, it's so pretty, friends. So let's shut this sucker off. And let's finish this layout. Yeah, so guess that's a whole class. That's a whole Friday Night Live again that I could do where we could stamp with the medium. We could stencil with the medium. So I will just keep the ideas coming, but that is very pretty. It's very subtle. I still will probably add a little bit more to those flowers, but I love it. I love it. Where did my gray go now? My torn piece. There it is. No, it's not. That is the other side of what I tore. But that is not what I need for this layout. There she goes, losing, oh, there it is. Losing all the things, right? It's always nice when Brienne, it's been a long time, my friend. Brienne is card making up a storm. See her on Jennifer McGuire's lives. Who very proud of Miss Jennifer doing her lives. Because it's not for everybody, right? It's not always the easiest thing. And she's doing a great job. Which, you know, she is the guru. See, so if I put this on here, I still think another layer might be nice. I'd like to take some of that white away just because the color underneath is orange. It's like an orangey floral. I'll take a little bit of that away. And then decide, do you think 2 layers? Could leave the black line on there too. It's very buckly still. We did some hand drawing. If you guys are just joining us, we did finger painting. So all these flowers were done with finger paints, and then we doodled on them. And now we're going to look at putting a base on here and turning it into a layout. So like I said, I do have photos that I printed, which I don't know if these ones are going to make it on here now. I might switch them out. I might end up switching these out for something different with a little bit more of the colors in it, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But this is meant to be like not a ton of embellishment layout, right? This is meant to be a layout where your mixed media really is center stage. So this is kind of what my idea was, right? Maybe we want more of that torn edge to show. And I really want to put the title right in here. And matte the photos. At least one of the photos. With that little blue purple. But now I'm thinking, I feel like I want this little blue purple to be seen on here too. Because I think that that ties into these, right? So I'm going to layer this and tear another piece. Come on, you stinker. I'm gonna have to move it up a bit because I was not the best paper tearer there. Was not the best paper tearer there. This is totally not what I normally do. I just thought it kind of lent itself, right? The kind of torn edges to this painted base. So if it's not your thing, though I feel like a lot of you, it is your thing. You're like, finally some paper tearing, Vicki. I love inking the edges and tearing my paper. How did everyone's painting go? Oh, I love it. I love that little lightness with the white on that. Love that. So it is going to... I'm going to cut some of the bottom of this off too. I find there's a little bit too much white at the bottom. And I can paper piece this together. So I like that a little bit more. That will give me the opportunity to have a little bit of this business going on. I'm going to make sure it's 12 inches. Right? There we go. So we want to make sure when we cut this, 12 inches. There we go. Or something. I don't know what I just did. Boop, boop. There we go. 12 inches. So it'll go like that. Oh, I love this, my friends. Don't you love that? I'm not going to glue it because I want to take a picture of the background. But I'm going to flatten this through the ink again because it is still a little on the buckly side. And then decide if these photos are going to make the cut. I don't mind them. Oh yeah, vellum could be very fun too. The vellum could be very fun too. I want these to pop up. Even if I mat it, which I'm going to. I have to reprint Devon because there's lines. The printer did something weird. And then we can tie some of that yellow in and the colors with another mat. But I don't want to put much on here. Like I might put, I want the yellow is probably what I'll play up, like the yellow in the background. And then just, I'm going to put Bondi. I want to put Bondi on here somehow. So let's look at we could play up the blue. Hopefully. Wherever that's going to end up going. B. O. Something just fell off. N. D. And the I. Not that one. Are any of my Aussie friends still here? I dreamt about this. I can't wait to go back and stay down in this area. I don't know if that's where that's going to go, but you get what I'm saying? Something fell off here. I don't know what it was. But I am going to put Bondi Beach. And maybe I kind of digging them, just kind of floating in the flowers, right? They just have to come down more so you can actually see them. My fingers are not working tonight. Like that. Doot, doot. Right? Something like that. Bondi Beach. And I'm going to put like a little word here. And then I'm going to also tie in the color up here. Maybe blue mats. I might pull like the blue mats. Right? I know some of you are probably like, really, Vicki, this is so kind of not. And maybe a border up top. I'm going to have to think on this. This is one of those ones that needs some more work. Right? Ooh, see? That is going to get matted on here with my fancy dancy measuring. You'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm going to tie the blue into the flowers a little bit too. Yes, I won't be finishing this tonight, Dorina. I am tired. So I will, you guys have the gist. And then I will put the finished, post the finished layout. I don't know if Jill's here tonight because that's Jill's like, where does Vicki post the layouts? I will for sure post this. I just have to go pack orders tomorrow, so I got to figure out when that's going to be. But, ooh, yeah, I'm digging that. I'm digging that. That blue, tying that blue in certainly helps this page. And then I feel like I need to tie some of that yellow in. I'm going to map both of these on the blue. Yes, I made the flowers with finger painting. Can you believe it? And I need to reprint this photo of Devin because, like I said, the printer was acting up. So I have lines in the back of my photo. So either the heads are dirty or it just grabbed it in a weird way. But definitely loving this. It's hard when we do the technique-y stuff. It's time consuming, right? So I really want these to stick to 2 hours. But now we're at the 2.5 hour mark, right? Because we painted, we doodled, then we put it through the mink. Lots of steps, right? So when I flatten it more, we lay that out. I think the blue really makes a difference on here. And then I'm going to add some yellow in the details. Maybe, ooh, see? Let's just see if I can find a piece. What I think would work. Need my 6x8 pad with a little strip of yellow, right? But I don't think I have that handy. So what I'm going to do up here is put a little scallopy border, or we could also tear a little corner there with a peak of yellow. What do you think? What is a mink? The mink is a foiling, really it is like a laminator, Krista. So it is, will add foiling effects. But I really feel like some yellow is going to go up here and some scallop border, some little flag banners to pull some of these colors in. And then, you know, I'll put like little tabs on here. And then the Bondi, I'll decide I might mat that in a little strip. Because, and then there's definitely going to be jewels and stuff on here still. But it needs some of the yellow needs to happen up here. I don't know if I want to tear an edge because I can't get that crazy, but I will like a little scallopy border up here with some yellow and maybe a little subtitle, but there will be a cluster up here. But I don't want a ton on this. I don't want a ton on here, but the yellow needs to come up here. I definitely need some of the yellow up here because then we will have our visual triangle, right? So that yellow needs to happen up there. And I would still like to tie some of this in here somewhere. A little bit of pink up on the gray. But I'm going to leave this at this point. Like it looks so crooky on here because I need to flatten this out. And I do not understand why it's so dark. Because this light is on, but I wonder if the bulb is just going. But yeah, I don't want to put any flowers or anything, right? I want this to be, the focal point is only here, but I will put like a little bit of, let me find a little piece and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Show you what I'm talking about. Because the yellow will make the difference. Oh. Let me come to this side. Because I'm working on stuff over here, but I can't steal it from this because it's from the class. But you see what I'm saying? I just need some kind of yellow up here. So I will figure out like some kind of little cluster or borders to put up there. And some little flag banner. But I do want this kind of centered over here. So I will figure it out. You know, sometimes you got to walk away, right? And I feel now that that is where I'm at. I've got to walk away from this and revisit it. Revisit it. But Devin definitely has to go on that side of the page. So I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out, friends. I'm going to flip the camera. A notebook punch. Block of yellow. Yeah, because I have it, right? I just have to get the paper. But I have my punch. It's sitting actually right across from me. So that's, I'm going to border punch up in that corner and then layer some stickers to go with that. So we will finish this, but I do have to say, I do love this part. I do love this part. And I do think this is just going to come more in the white so it doesn't get lost. And I might do some journal strips with it as well. But I'm loving that there. And then I will put a little title with it. I had actually, and I might print them. One of the photos I was going to print for this layout was yellow flowers at Bondi Beach. So if I do just one little square one of these beautiful yellow photos I took, that might make the whole world of a difference. That might make the whole world of a difference, right? Let me flip your camera. I'll pull this closer. You see all my mess everywhere. But now look, you can see the metallic. where they foiled. I love this though. It was fun, right? I know it needs work for it to get to the point where I will be happy. It needs a couple of things. I'm sorry I'm jiggling you, Blair Witch. Oh, guess what I didn't do yet? What am I going to give away? I'm going to give away a set of the texture paste. And just a second. Boop. I'm going to give texture paste. That's my giveaway. So I got a scroll, and I did. Sorry. Oh, that's my water on my laptop. Thank goodness it didn't spill. Sorry, weird stuff just happened. I apologize. It's what you get when you're dealing with me, right? Just drop everything. So just a second. I'm breaking stuff here. I do not even know how that came up. So just one sec. So quick scroll for the giveaway. So if you were commenting tonight, 2 chances. I will give away in the regular comment section after the video. Make sure you leave a comment, and I brought it down with me. I picked a winner from last week. I'm going to post it in. So if you go back to, it's a name I don't think I know. So it is somebody new, but I left it upstairs. So I have to find that in typical Vicki sense. But I'm going to do a quick scroll. So somebody live who's watching here tonight is going to win the texture paste. And then for your comments by next Friday, I will pick it on Friday before we go live. The winner from the comment section. So when the video is done, so that means if you didn't get to watch live, you still have a chance to win. And I'm going to do a quick scroll, and then I'm going to choose a winner. So here we go. I'm scrolling. Just a second. Got stuck. Oh, here we go. It is, geez, what is happening on here? Elise Adams. Elise Adams is the winner live. And then just make sure that you leave a comment in the regular comment section for a second chance to win. For my international friends, if I pick international, you know that I will send you a gift certificate to the store for the value of whatever I'm giving away. And then you can do access only. So I don't know where Elise lives. I don't know if Elise is still here. But email me at info@vickybooten.com. And that's awesome. The other person that won... Oh, look, I found it. It's right over here. So last live, which was not last Friday, but the Friday before, was for the metallic water paste and a Posca pen. I will be emailing Kristen Bazzelli won live. And the person that out of the comment section is Jackie Hay. So Jackie, if you're on here tonight or watching, Jackie Hay, I will put your name in, and that's JACQUIEHAY. That's for on the 9th. So I will put that in the comment section because you guys got to reach out to me so that I can get your mailing address and then I can send it off. But thank you so much, friends. That was a lot of fun. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to celebrate my mama's birthday tomorrow, and Rich and I are going on a date. So that'll be a lot of fun. It was wonderful having you join me tonight. I hope you get a chance to do the finger painting. I will be making a card out of that is the other one that I did. It's going to be pretty. Look how pretty once I doodle on that one. It's going to be pretty. So I will have those. I'll finish those up so that I can post them. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you next Friday. Got to figure out what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing yet. But have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you later. For any of my friends joining after the fact, thanks for coming and playing. Don't forget, thumbs up the video. Leave a comment. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do that. Lots of fun stuff will be coming down the pipeline. Just keep making, and getting pages in my album this year. I love it. So we'll see you guys later. As always, thanks, Nat. And see you next Friday. Bye, guys.